Hi there, I'm Lauren.
And I'm Khaki.
And we are sisters, business partners, and shocker, best friends.
This is our podcast, Two Sisters in Business. We'll let you decide who's older.
We hope you'll join us while we talk about what it's like to work with your sister, to be a mom, and run a family business.
So listen to us in the pickup line at school or while you're having your morning coffee.
We want you to be inspired to start that side hustle, escape the stresses of the day, and most importantly, laugh along the way.
Find us at Spotify, Apple, or wherever your podcasts are found.
And in case you're wondering, I'm the oldest. We hope you'll join Khaki and me. This is Two Sisters in Business. Good morning and welcome to episode 32 of Two Sisters in Business.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back.
We have a very special guest with us today, Sue-Jean Kang, who is founder and operator of Fine Day Fair, which we've talked a lot about this, like side hustles. Would you call it a side hustle, Fine Day Fair?
Yes, I would.
Yes. But it's a side hustle that is a job. Like it's,
yes, and like hopefully soon becoming not a side hustle, but who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. But it's something that we will talk about requires a lot of time. And so I continue to be impressed with all of the entrepreneurs we've had on our podcast. Because everyone does so much. And, you know, we, like starting Dudley Stephens, really understand that. And at times it has felt like a side hustle. And then other times it's felt like a full-time job.
Yes.
And it has become a full-time job, but it started as a side hustle. So, so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
coming in. So if you could just describe first, before we dive in, what Fine Day Fair is, and what, you know, how you got there, and we can deep dive into all of that too. But if you want to kick off with telling us about Fine Day Fair.
Sure. So Fine Day Fair is a brocante market where we like to say meet, shop, and unwind. We bring thousands of people together twice a year, every Mother's Day weekend in Chevy Chase, Maryland, and every first weekend in June in South Salem, New York.
Right.
And we bring over 75 vendors, curated vendors, to our sites. Where those attendees shop under these sweeping white tents. And it's really amazing. But it's really a collection of home, antiques, soft goods such as apparel, jewelry, and everything in between.
What I was so inspired by when we were emailing before this is like holding on to that like nostalgia of like shopping those items in real life and like not online, and also not being like a trade show where, you know, we've never actually done a trade show for Dudley Stephens, but we talk about it a lot. But we're just such a direct-to-consumer brand. Like, it's almost like inherent in us now. So I feel like there's so much in common, like just with your ethos of like starting this and like keeping that community spirit and like that shopping, that in real life shopping experience. Like, it's so important.
Yeah, I mean, D2C is huge for us. There are a lot of other types of brocante like shows or antique shows that are really geared towards trade.
Yeah.
And we love trade too. Our joy is that, and by the way, I say our and we a lot, but it's really me and I. But it brings me comfort. It's actually kind of a habit, people have pointed out. But it brings me a lot of joy seeing some really stellar interior designers at Fine Day Fair every year. And they have told me in person it's their favorite show. They like to bring their families, their spouses, their kids. That's what we're going for, is a consumer environment. You know, it's really important to me to bring down that wall or that intimidation where someone doesn't belong there. Absolutely not. If you love your home, if you love to shop, if you just like to be somewhere in real life, like you said, in an environment that is really cool, like, I think that's why you should come. And that's why we try to make it approachable.
That's great.
I love that too. I mean, I have an events background prior to Dudley Stephens, so I know the power of an event. It gives not only the vendor there the ability to get in front of people, but also a much deeper engagement and relationship that you can't get just on a website or just through something else. So I think it's so good especially for these startups too that are just trying to find their consumer,
the small business, small brands. Totally. And you had a special guest at what was that, last year?
I mean, every year we have special guests. Martha
Martha
Stewart
Stewart
is a
was
regular.
top
She
of mind.
shows up before the event starts.
Oh, no.
Because she lives down the street. But she likes to
incredible.
be, early bird gets the worm. She likes to show up even when everything's not really fully set up. But she likes to get there early, and she does the rounds.
Yeah. Oh my
She is so gracious.
Yeah. Love
She
it.
really boosts the morale of the vendors. I mean, they're just enthused to see her, and of course the attendees too.
Yeah.
We've had other locals. I hope it's okay that I mentioned like Emily Blunt.
Yeah, they're there. I mean, that's so great.
I know
They're all in
that
Bedford, right?
Harry Connick Jr. came one year with
amazing.
his wife, which was really delightful.
I used to babysit for their kids.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Because they lived in New Canaan.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
that's
it's
so cool.
We are just delighted to see them there, and it's really our magic is we are hyper local.
Yeah. Right.
So if everyone that's in attendance is roughly within a 10 to 15 mile radius, I'm ecstatic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because that's why we did the event, was to bring something really social, fun, community driven to the local, both Fairfield and Westchester County.
I know you kind of hit both things too.
Yeah,
like
that
County and
site's
Westchester.
pretty special. We
It's
really
amazing.
love the town of Lewisboro, and On a True Farm Park has been a dream for us. So
So awesome.
And do the vendors, do they come from all over, or are they mostly local
they come
too?
from all over.
Yeah, okay.
And as you said, like for startups, some of these brands just live on social media.
Right.
Some
Yeah.
of them are Etsy brands.
Yeah.
Some of them are D2C. And they are all just figuring it out. And so having that in-person experience with consumers is huge for them.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see some of them evolve over the years. It's a challenge for me to make sure we're constantly mixing it up, because we have
Right.
to make the event fresh every year. But
Right.
that's also something I communicate back to the vendors. Like, what do you have up your sleeve? Are you
Yeah.
are you introducing new SKUs,
Right.
new formulations, new styles? Like, what do you want to put out there that you think
different.
is going to do well?
Yep.
Right.
And so it's been really neat to see even just how their setup and their merchandising is different
Yeah.
year after year, because they just learn, and they do. Some vendors do incredibly well at the event.
That's great.
Amazing. Yeah.
And even just the exposure of new customer, I don't know, new people seeing your brand that haven't heard of it before or whatever. I feel like there's so much in that, like that goes back to how special events can be. So tell us a little bit about, because you actually have experience in this world as well, like prior to launching One Fine Day Fair and the previous company.
Yeah, I am a serial side hustler. I just love it. Many years ago, I owned and operated the largest artisanal food festival in the Mid-Atlantic. My husband and I lived down in D.C. and Baltimore for many years before we relocated back to Connecticut.
Yep.
And that was a whole different type of machine, right?
Yes.
Food was very hot at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
What
Those
years
were
was
the
this? Like
2013 to 2018.
Okay.
And we sold the business to new ownership in 2018,
Yeah,
which was
which is
also a
great.
different type of adventure and
Congratulations.
experience
Yeah.
as an
Yeah.
entrepreneur.
Yep.
But that was the heyday of like Top Chef and like restaurants and foodies were really big. And so again, this event was designed to be D2C.
Yep.
There was Fancy Food Show. There were all these types of shows that were geared towards retailers or wholesale or trade. And there was nothing for the consumer. And so it was a much bigger event. It was
Right.
hundreds of vendors
Wow.
and 10,000 attendees
Oh
over the
my
course of
goodness.
two days. So
Wow.
it was just, the challenges I experienced back then, I took into this,
Yes.
into Fine Day Fair.
New venture,
Such
yeah.
as like food and beverage get really tricky. There's a lot of
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
can sometimes be intoxication. And so
Yeah.
you
See,
are
all of
like
these
navigating
things.
that.
A lot,
Yeah.
right?
And
like
so-
the
Yeah.
like health like you need to make sure everything is up to stand, up to code, and all that too. Right?
Fire,
There's- Yeah.
health.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So heading into the second one, I was like, I love
do
food.
good.
This is good. And we do have food and beverage at Fine Day Fair,
Yes,
but
you
in a
do. It was
much
good.
more
Yeah.
subdued way.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
and it's highly curated, and we love the vendors that are at the fair every
great.
year.
I know the vendors, and then the woman with the flowers, like it all felt it felt like you're in an Instagram post, but like in real life, like a beautifully curated, I don't know.
That was
it's
the
very
point.
special.
I mean, we took inspiration from brocante fairs abroad, both in France and the UK, and
amazing.
I've been to many.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is they feel the same as Fine Day Fair.
Oh, that's
and
so
sometimes
amazing.
I go to just say like, are we at the level? Like,
Yeah, yes.
And I get there and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
we are.
a lot
Yeah.
of the vendors are different.
Yeah.
Right.
But the atmosphere is the same. You're in an
Yes.
open meadow or a field. There are tents. There's lots of buzz and vendors. And it's okay if you just buy one small silver spoon or a trinket box. And
Right.
it's also okay if you want to buy a new armoire and
Yes.
actual furniture and
Right.
lots
Like
of
you
different things.
stumble upon something
Right.
that you were looking for. And yeah, what a special thing, too. That is awesome. So tell us about, so we actually have connections with Sue-Jean outside of friendship and following you on Instagram and your adorable family and your kids are so cute and funny. But Sanda, your mom,
my mom.
And our mom, Bonnie, go way back. And when Bonnie and Khaki and I were starting Dudley Stephens, we had the idea, but we had no way of making samples or knowing what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And your mom told my mom about this woman that made patterns.
Yep.
And so that like kind of kicked off our journey of like being actually able to make samples. So thanks to you, we have a lot to thank you guys for. And when this episode goes live, I think we'll be dropping our core turtlenecks.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
like that
which is the
was the
initial
original sample that we had made with the woman who was making patterns. So anyway, it's just funny looking back on all of that. And like Bonnie reminds us of that all the time. So it's like, it's great. It's like we're all, well, and I would love to talk to you about your upbringing with family business and entrepreneurship, because here we are 10 years into our family business. We did not have one prior to this. So as you can imagine, lots of learning and ups and downs, but also wonderful because we love being together and we are such a tight-knit family, as you guys are too.
Definitely.
So, but I would love to hear what it was like as a child of that and like how that shaped who you are today and your side hustles and entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I mean, what's so interesting is my mom is a trained dressmaker. She's a
wow.
really talented tailor, a seamstress.
Yes,
So
yeah.
it's not unusual that Bonnie asked my mom
Yes.
if about the pattern. And the pattern really in apparel is the first step.
Yep.
It's all about the fit.
Yes.
And you guys have probably gone through hundreds of iterations of
Yes.
Yes.
the SKUs, right? Like what needs to change, what needs to be
Yes.
smaller, roomier, right? And
Right.
that's my mom speaks fluently.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's
She
amazing.
speaks
She's the
fluently
best.
in apparel. Like
Which
Yeah.
like we know now like
Right.
is a different brain. Like we will be in fittings with our pattern maker and they think of things.
Well, it's like if you take this out a little bit, it affects a different part. I don't know.
Yes.
And it's like a science.
It is
It's
a
math
science. It's
and
math.
creative at
Yeah.
the same time.
Yes.
it totally is.
It's a
And
talent. Yeah.
she's kind of winding down on that part of her career, which is interesting because she, in my opinion, she really is one of the best.
yeah.
And people are not happy that she isn't really continuing that. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, even at Fine Day Fair, I don't know how many times people came up to me and said, like, your mom
yeah.
did my wedding dress. And I'm like, what do you mean?
Oh.
She's like, she
Yeah.
made
Made it.
a custom wedding dress for me out of like my grandmother's dress.
Oh my gosh.
And it's like, whoa. And my mom would be like, oh yeah, I remember that dress. That was kind of challenging. Like, but it was
Right.
really fun. And
Yeah.
so yeah, my parents are serial entrepreneurs.
Yes.
You know, they immigrated to the United States in the 70s.
Yep.
With the hopes of the American dream.
Yes.
And their entrepreneurial journey has gone through many different chapters.
Yep.
And, you know, something I've shared with you guys before is that what I love about that is it's really, it's like in our family DNA.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
You know, I've had many jobs prior to starting my consultancy and Fine Day Fair and the Emporium and all the other things. And
Yep.
my dad's always been like, yeah, but when are you going to do your own thing? Like,
Yeah.
that's cool and all. 10 vacation days is neat, but like, you sick of it yet? And I'm like, not yet.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. He just really loves the thrill, also the risk, which can be super scary,
Yeah,
but
right.
the satisfaction of being successful, right?
Yes.
And it's not always great days. There have been failures and challenges, ups and downs, but you know, he really is. My dad and my mom are both really core. They are entrepreneurial
They're like
to
definition.
their core.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think the cool thing is some of their businesses haven't been very long. They haven't
Right.
been 10-year businesses.
Right. Right. Which
And
is
that's okay.
also
Right.
so great to hear, like just selfishly, personally, because you know, we're looking back at 10 years and like my husband the other night was like, just the fact that you guys made it 10 years is an accomplishment. Right. Like if you closed up shop tomorrow, like you could look back and say, oh my gosh, it's given us all of this over the course of 10 years. The flexibility,
during such a prime time of our life too, when we were raising little babies. Like
like our independence in a way.
Right.
Yeah. So I love that philosophy and hearing that, because it's good to be reminded of that like just that we've made it this far is.
But you know, I think with small business, with entrepreneurship, being your own boss comes with a lot of sometimes rough days where you just question everything. And you're like, is this really better? I don't know, but you know,
it's a roller coaster.
It totally is. But I do love the work. Like that hasn't ever changed, nor will it ever change. So I think that if you kind of have that innately in you, then it's part of the ride.
Wait, and you said your dad's written books too about his businesses.
He has.
That's amazing. And in Korean and in English. Like,
they're Korean books, but with English translation. So he's self-published 3 books.
Wow.
If you ever come over, he loves to give people his books.
Yes. That's so great.
Yeah, they really are meant for specific industry, right? So for dry cleaning and for Korean or Korean American operators of those businesses. And so everything from like a dialogue book, a how-to, to a management book, an operational management book. So it's super interesting.
Is like so awesome that he took the time to communicate what he did for other people to like learn, you know, because like if he can help one person start their own business and have autonomy and all of that, like how incredible. It's so great.
He's really, you know, dry cleaning is like such an interesting industry. He has really doubled, tripled down on it. Like what I think he kind of maybe fell into as a career has really stimulated many parts of his brain. So he is an engineer, tinker tailor. He's like a tinker fairy at his core, and he loves machinery.
To
him, that can be one of the hardest parts of the job, but he loves it. He loves a boiler situation. He loves new machinery. He loves trade shows. Speaking of trade shows, like he goes to see what the new technology is. And he's super fluent in it. I mean,
Well, and I think also, like, as I was reading your bio and just thinking about today and just like the state of the world and like AI and technology, like, and our children now, like we all have young kids and what they're going to do with their careers. And I just feel this sense of like small business, local businesses and like trade skills. Like our children need to have more of those than they do now. Cause I feel like a lot of this
like
generation.
A loss. Yeah.
And now, I mean, pretty soon, like you're going to call your plumber and it's going to be 5 times the cost because there is a lack of skilled labor.
100%.
And that's probably going to happen in all these areas with like dry cleaning and with all the local businesses that we all rely on.
I mean, it's already happening.
It's already happening.
Right? Like there are, let's talk Dudley Stephens. Like a lot of your apparel is washable. This is not dry clean only materials. And that is the norm. That's where the trends are going towards. But everyone is still going to need it at some extent. So I think the competition just gets a little more fierce. So there are less places to go to. Delivery becomes a little bit more prevalent. And so relationship, reputation become really important in any business.
Well, and also like I love how your parents had like a one-stop shop with like the seamstress and the tailoring that your mom did and the dry cleaning. Like you need to have all of these services I think. To compete with the
delivery,
with the
like the best delivery in town. I think.
And
I always say, do you like if you ever want to know what's trending? Go into Santa's.
Oh my gosh.
I go all the time. And I look at the things
that
racks,
come in.
And I'm like, oh, like how many Dudley Stephens fleeces are in here? My mom actually once, many years ago, because it's been a while, was like, I'm getting them all the time.
Oh my gosh.
People are buying these things. And I was like, oh yeah, people are. I was like, Mom, go to William's soccer game on Saturday. on a fall day
Yeah.
when it's chilly out and look down the sideline.
It's incredible.
Everyone is wearing a Dudley.
God.
I emailed you that the
Yeah,
other
you
day. I was
did.
like,
Yeah.
everyone was wearing a
Dudley
Dudley
Stephens.
Stephens in
No,
different
yeah.
colors,
Right.
in
Yeah.
different types of fleece.
So amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so cool to
That's
see.
awesome.
I
I love
mean,
that.
Well-
it's just the new. It's an absolute staple,
Totally,
right?
yes.
But you can
That's
see
amazing.
which brands are hot right now because you'll see it over and over again on the
Right.
on the
that's
racks.
so
And like,
interesting.
what
It's
better
like
way
trend
than your
reporting.
local dry cleaners to be like, oh yeah, that brand really is
They're-
landing
yeah.
quite
Yeah,
well.
That's
like
a
look
great
how many
point.
people
Yeah.
are sending this in. That's crazy. I love that. Trend reporting.
Trend
Yeah.
reporting
Santa's.
from your local from Santa's Cleaners.
That's so great. So what do you think was the best part about, being raised within many family businesses? And like, how did that shape like your work ethic today? I mean, like you said, you love the actual work of it, which I think we all need to be reminded about that as entrepreneurs, moms in business, like as we raise our kids, like having that sense of accomplishment and like keeping the creative process engaged. I don't know, all of that. Like, do you feel like that as a child, like seeing your parents as that has really helped shape who you are today and your like ambitions also?
For sure. I think two things though. I think seeing how hard my parents work and still work has two sides to it. One, I know I can work that hard too.
Yeah.
But B, I need to see where the balance is.
Right. Yeah.
So sometimes I think one of the biggest learned lessons being raised in my family is how to balance work and leisure or rest. Rest is like kind of a foreign concept to my parents and still is. And sometimes when they see me resting too much, they'll like make a comment and I'm like, okay. But also when it's fair weekend, my dad loves to stop by during install, which is really not the right time to come see me.
But it's out. Does he help though? If things
Stressful.
need help?
He just comes to observe and he just gets really
make-
concerned. He's like, you look really tired. This looks really physically hard.
Yes.
And I always remind him like, but so do you. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what,
This is it.
part of
what
the
do
job.
you
What I'm
mean?
doing. Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
So, but I do think, growing up in an entrepreneurial family, the best part to me are the ideas. And that's something I'm trying to do for my kids.
Yeah.
My husband is way less risk averse. He does not come from like a super, super entrepreneurial family, though I have to add his parents are also in the dry cleaning industry.
Oh my gosh.
So it's really fun. Like there's a
That's
lot of
so funny.
similarity.
Yes, yeah.
He grew up in St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh my gosh. Where
and
did you guys meet?
so-
In
In DC.
okay, got it. Yeah.
And
Wait, that's
so-
crazy. So
yeah.
That's so funny.
but he saw it and was like, nope, I'm not.
Our parents actually met before we met.
Oh my
dad
gosh.
used to travel the United States as part of like a dry cleaners association.
Okay, yeah.
And so he knew my father-in-law before we even met. Yeah, which is super interesting.
That's
But
really cute.
the cool thing is throughout our 12-year marriage, he knows I've always got an idea in my pocket.
Yeah.
And he's such a good listener. So instead of being like, that's a terrible idea. Do you know what? Like, no.
Yeah.
He never shoots me down. He's always just listening.
Love that.
And that's something that is a day-to-day for the Chuns, my
Yeah,
parents.
yeah.
When we were growing up, there was always an idea.
Yeah.
What do you think if we did this?
Yeah.
Right.
What do you think about that? My dad and I talk all the time. I mean, even last week he was like, what about this? And I was like, that's a crazy idea. It's okay if it gets shut down.
Yes.
It's okay if you just sit on it for a bit.
Yes.
But the ideas never stop. And I do think that is so key to being really entrepreneurial is you can't turn it off. And
No.
so
Right.
you'll see something that's trending. You'll see something that inspires you.
Yeah.
And I think the great thing is all ideas are welcome at the table.
Yes,
Just
right.
say it
Love
out loud
that.
because it's going to be embarrassing. Honestly, you know how that
Yeah,
feels. Like,
totally.
Oh my gosh.
you get a little
Yeah.
sheepish. Like, what if they judge this idea? What if
Yeah.
they, say it's a bad idea and it's never going to work out?
Right.
There's such bravery in just saying, well, I have this idea. Just hear me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I do that at home with my kids and my husband all the time.
I love that. And I love that he is like
Yeah.
that's his response because we all have been with friends or people that like don't get it and will just shoot things down. But you need that like open ear.
Well, you need, and then also to bounce ideas off
Yes.
of each other
Absolutely.
too. Like one
Right.
idea sparks another idea, or if that idea isn't so great, then how do you iterate on it and make it better.
Totally.
I think that's where the conversation is most important in entrepreneurship. So, the ideas and then flowing from there.
But also, an idea is just something in your mind unless you say it out loud.
Right.
I'm really all about saying it out loud.
Yes.
Because it's frightening, but I am that friend, and all my girlfriends know this. I'm the person. If you have an idea, just tell me because I want to hear it.
Yeah.
Right.
And so a lot of my friends will go on our walks, we'll grab a drink, and there's always this like, so hear me out. And I'm like,
Tell me.
what?
Yeah.
What is it? And I patiently listen, just like my husband listens to me.
Yeah.
And I never shoot an idea down.
Yeah.
And I just love brainstorming around people's ideas, even if they never turn into anything.
Yeah.
Just the trust and safety of a friend that's like, tell me what
more,
you're thinking about.
Like, maybe you could do this.
Yeah, right.
I feel like too, even though we're on this journey with Dudley Stephens, we're constantly entrepreneurial within the company. Like starting this podcast.
Definitely.
Like, I think that we both kind of thought of it together when the studio opened. But
I think also too,
like,
just the amount that we talk and like we're talking all day in the car, whether we're driving our kids around or whatever. We're like, we need to just start these conversations or like record these conversations and get them out there.
Yeah, exactly. But it's having that comfort with family or whoever you're working with to say crazy things and know that it's not gonna it's gonna be received and like listened to, I guess. And
then if you get the crazy idea out there and you like sit on it for a little while, 2 weeks later it might not be crazy anymore.
Right.
It's
like starting a podcast.
Exactly.
Exactly. So when you run the Fine Day fair, when you have the day, it's over a few days, right? Like
It's 2 days of fair, and then there obviously like the week of is a lot of setup.
So you're doing this on your own though. Like you are a one-woman show, and that's what I think people sometimes don't realize. Like especially a lot of the attendees, like you go and maybe that you're there and you are the founder, but the amount of work that goes into that sort of thing. I mean, do you enlist help? Like, does your family still help? You said your dad will show up, but how does that work, like getting ready for those events?
The first couple years, my sister was like my assistant, poor thing. She's an attorney. She's older.
She's older. That's like us.
She's older, except people think these days that I'm older. Our dynamic has shifted many times over throughout our lifetimes, and I love that.
Familiar.
Yeah, it sounds very familiar.
We're 2 years apart, and we're really close, and we think and are very different, which is a great thing.
So good.
You know? I'm like the dreamer. She's the realist. She's the attorney, the lawyer, but during the first 2 years, there was a lot of scrambling and a lot of just asking for help.
Yeah.
Right.
Because funds are low and you're just trying to get something off the ground. Nowadays, though, we have a team in place, but it is still a huge lift.
Yes. I can only imagine.
Back in the day when I had the Emporium, which was the food festival, I had a business partner. She was amazing. I absolutely could not have done that without her. But heading into the new venture, I just, I kind of wanted to try it on my own. It was a different beast that I knew I could maybe try. But I do have to say there are some moments, even today, where I'm like, oof, I just need to ask for more help, or I need to find more help.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do alone. But that's why it's important to have close family, close friends.
Totally.
Because it's like isolating. Sometimes the brainstorming of the business, thinking about the future of the business, all those things. I have a really special business mentor that's actually a friend of mine.
Oh, amazing.
Who is my phone call.
Oh, that's great.
Especially post-event.
Yeah.
She's incredible with numbers. And she just helps me feel less alone, and no idea or no conversation is silly.
Yeah. Even being like a numbers person too, which is so nice.
Right. Absolutely. That's not me.
Yeah.
I'm not a numbers person. So just hearing the questions she asks me sometimes about the attendance, the type of demographic, the percentage of repeat attendees, and I'm just like, I'm not thinking that way.
Right. How did you get to local people? Like, how did you spread the word initially? Like, what was were you very scrappy with it?
Oh, yes. I mean, even now, we still, some tactics work and are
some don't.
tried and true.
Right.
Yard signs in our area.
I've seen
You
them,
will see me at all hours of the day.
They work.
Oh, they absolutely work.
Amazing.
And they're
Yeah.
allowed.
Yeah.
You know, you
Right.
obviously have to check within each township to see what their
Local
rules
laws
are.
And you
yeah.
see them multiple times too.
Correct.
Because you're
Yeah.
driving. You know,
And
the
if you're
same
from
route
this
or-
area, you know which ways, which streets, which intersections are
People
the
go.
big ones.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
And so I still get embarrassed. I mean, the first time I was like, I can't be seen. I was wearing like a hat and all black. But like now I'm like out there just with a bunch of
whatever.
signs.
Yeah.
But
proud of
it's
it.
still
Yeah.
tricky. Like I have to do it either at like 4:30 in the morning or
Yeah.
very late at night. It's obvious. Like I don't want to be hit by a car.
I know. And you're like,
But
yeah,
like
yeah.
I do know where they're going now.
Yeah.
And so
Well, you should
yeah.
put some in Greenwich too for your next
I
one.
do. Yeah.
Okay, good.
That is,
yeah.
I should absolutely do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, yard signs. I love getting mail in the mailbox. We've
Yeah.
been doing that for a long time in terms of like
Like
it's
just
a
little
mix,
postcards or
yes,
whatever
So it's
that
like
say-
traditional marketing
Yep.
and promotions, and
Right.
then
Social
modern,
media.
right?
Yeah.
Obviously, social media has been huge for us. So like,
Yeah.
and for you guys. So
Yeah.
just
Did Martha Stewart post about
she
you guys?
did.
That's amazing.
I remember seeing her there, but I didn't know she actually did a post. That's incredible.
She was in like 6 places that weekend and posted all the 6 places she was at.
Oh my gosh.
Fundraisers, friend's house,
Yeah.
Fine Day Fair. I mean, it was amazing.
That's
Wow.
incredible, and I love that she did that. I feel like I don't know. She knows her influence.
She
and-
also came to the first one. The first one was very different in
Yeah.
format than
Okay.
the ones we run now.
right.
It was smaller. It was at a different site
Yeah,
over in Katona, New York.
yeah. That's the one I went to.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And she showed up. And it was very much during COVID times.
right.
Right.
Yes, it
so
was. Yeah,
it was, people were just so hungry to get out.
and like
Yeah.
yes,
Right.
I
it was
mean,
finally allowed and
I-
everyone was like, we got to do something.
Yeah.
And she showed up.
so great.
It was just, I mean, I was speechless. I
Yeah.
still am. I
Yeah.
mean, the fact that she has come multiple times to me is unbelievable.
Yeah,
Right.
I am her biggest fan.
Yeah.
I really mean that.
I mean, honestly, I feel like having it's proven, not proving because you are doing something, but like it just shows what you're doing is impactful and like I don't know, it's
Yeah.
really great.
And
It's
she
so cool.
she buys like a consumer, like any other attendee.
Yeah, right.
And also,
She shops.
she is the ultimate female entrepreneur.
yeah,
Right.
and
She's-
influencer, like
She's
all
the
the things.
major girl boss. So
I know.
for me, that's why I'm a fan.
I
I'm a
think you're
fan.
right, and I think she inspired everyone, like Gwyneth Paltrow. You know, like everyone kind of that, like Martha becoming just a one-word
Yeah.
household name. All of us like look to that in what we're doing. I think so. What a powerful person and experience to have, and like the trickle down effect too. Like I'm sure you see it then, like even in the Chevy Chase location, like. I'm
Definitely.
sure.
I mean, it's different, and that was a big challenge for us, was to see if we could have a proof of concept in a different market. I
Yeah.
know Montgomery County, Maryland pretty well, and
Yeah,
so I was like, you
having
know
lived
what?
there.
I think we can give it a go.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was really challenging. I mean, as you guys know, the early days of a business are rough.
Yeah.
And then you get a little comfortable, and it's hard to feel like you want to put yourself in that position again.
Yeah.
But sometimes you have to.
I know, to
you
grow.
know? That's
Yeah.
how you grow. And
Right.
so we did it, and I was super happy about it. I mean,
Yeah.
Totally.
Well,
Yeah.
and the one thing too, I mean, we've talked about how the install is grueling, the marketing,
grilling.
talking to the vendors, so like all
So
the
grueling.
different, all the people that you're communicating with to get the
Yes.
logistics down. But then also, you have a brand, right? So
Yeah.
having and 2 different fairs and 2 different locations, you want it to feel and look the same way with all
Recognizable.
75 different vendors and or multiple different vendors in both. So pulling that all together, that's like an art too, and creative piece that you must love, being a creative,
Yeah.
more on the creative
Yeah,
side, like
I
just
do
making
love
sure
it.
it all
Yeah.
kind of looks the same, and you're engaged in this experience that is the same in both places.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is your long-term vision for Fine Day Fair? Do you hope to go to new cities? Is it depending on, I mean, it's like you said, it's really hard to like risk that but is there an area or like long-term, do you see these happening all over the country?
I mean, yes, I do have a vision for it, but I mean, business owner to business owner, I don't know
Yeah.
how you guys kind of see the future. For me, having sold the Emporium in
Yeah.
the past was it was a big learning experience for me. And so part of me, we're still very much in the infancy of Fine Day Fair. We definitely would like to be in more markets.
But it's hard with like
It's really
staff
hard.
and
It's really
yeah.
hard. And I know Fairfield and Westchester County so well.
Yeah.
I grew up in this area.
Yep.
So for me, that's not a language I have to learn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas even thinking I knew Chevy Chase, the Bethesda area well,
Yeah.
I learned I just probably know a quarter of what I need to know, right? And that was
Right.
humbling. And just every area, every region is very different.
Yeah.
The people, the residents of those areas are very different. And so that's been a learning curve. But yes, the goal would be more Fine Day fairs, because
Yeah.
that has been the feedback we've gotten, is that people in different areas would like this type of event.
Yep.
And then eventually, my brain never stops working. So for me, I love a live produced event. I love something in real life. For me, especially as we continue to be a very digital society, it's so important. So when I look at concerts, music experiences these days, even the music industry has changed dramatically.
Yeah,
One of
right.
the best ways to really make money is to tour and to have
Yes.
a concert and to be in various different cities offering that same experience. And so for me, it's like, what's the next evolution, right? It went from food to home, home
Right.
garden and antiques.
Yeah.
And then what comes next? And I think
Because I can already picture it out. Like we were just in Aspen, Colorado. I mean, there's
Gorgeous.
open parks
Yeah.
there. I feel like that community would just go crazy over something like this. Like I can picture it. So I don't know.
someone said Nantucket the other day, and I was like, there's no way.
Oh my
Very
gosh, an island. I don't know.
There's no way.
That would be really tricky.
But yeah, it would
gorgeous,
be great.
but yeah.
It would be great
Yeah.
to be in more places. But I do think my biggest learned lesson heading into the next era, I would say, is not to sell myself short.
Yeah.
So oftentimes I am my biggest critic, and I'll say, no, that's not a good idea, not right now. But I'm going to try to be more like, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe I could.
I love that.
Right.
So
Keep the door
We all
open.
need more of that right
yeah,
now.
I know we
think.
do.
Yeah, I can just picture it in so many places like California, and I don't know. It's such a, and like Kaki said, the brand you've created is why. Like that overarching, beautiful name and logo, like everything about it just like
Right.
exudes warmth and like you want to go, So I
Yeah.
feel like
And
there's
hopefully
lots
we've
of-
made it approachable enough where you just do go. You just
Yeah.
come and
walk
experience
around.
it.
Yeah, yeah. It's for everybody. I love all of this. So we talked about your long-term vision, but tell us where people can find you and if they want to sign up. And I know you're in the works for the next one, but
We are toying with the idea of doing a holiday fair.
Okay. That would
we
be
haven't
incredible.
done one in 2 years.
well, if you do it, we will be there as a vendor.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
oh my
now.
gosh, please.
So please let us know if it happens because
TBD.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Okay.
TBA, I guess.
Yeah, TBA.
But yeah, you can find Fine Day Fair on Instagram at Fine Day Fair or online at finedayfair.com.
Okay.
And if you're a prospective vendor, just know I read every single email.
Yeah.
I'm a zero inbox girl. So even if you feel like no one is seeing it, somebody is.
Yeah.
Curation is tricky and we can't take everybody. Our wait list has gotten really, really high. But
Oh, kudos
That's
to you
amazing.
guys.
Yeah.
That's so
Congrats.
great.
some categories are just huge. Jewelry.
Yeah,
apparel.
jewelry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not a fashion show, so I always say those have to be kind of controlled in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
But there is a inquiry for prospective vendors on our website.
Amazing. Okay.
And I am.
You go
seeing
through
them.
all of them. That's
Yeah.
also a lot of work in itself.
I know.
And like
That's
knowing what
a
to
ton.
curate is
Right.
yeah.
But it's also a blessing because in the early days we didn't have any proactive inquiries.
Right.
We
You
were
had to
going
go.
after
Right. Yeah.
people.
Right.
Yeah.
Which was very time consuming, right?
my
So
gosh.
every inquiry we receive, it just puts a smile on my face and makes
Yes.
me feel really grateful because I'm like, you want to be
To
here.
be here.
Thank
Right.
you.
We're doing
Yeah.
something right.
Tell
Yeah.
me about your business. And then I kind of go down the rabbit hole of
Yeah.
looking at them on Instagram
Yeah, and seeing what
and
their
on social
product
media
is
as well
and-
as their website.
Right, right. That's so great.
Amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. Is there anything that we missed or that you want to discuss or you just said everything about Fine Day Fair, so I think we've got that. But this was so fun and I love our family connection.
I
feel like
know.
we should have lunch with
Yeah.
our moms.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I just want to take a minute to just say kudos to you guys. I have watched
Thank
your
you.
business grow exponentially over the last 10 years. I am sheepishly, but very proud to say that I know you guys. Anywhere
So
we
nice.
go.
Yeah.
When we went to Chevy Chase, I mean, I did ask. I was like, can you guys
know.
come? It wasn't the right time of year, but
I know. And
you have fans across the country, internationally. I think the sports sideline thing to me is such a real life way to see that your business is thriving.
That's awesome.
Because you can see real women wearing your clothing.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite gifts to give.
Yes, I love that.
I still get excited when I see it out in public, and
I do too.
I don't know if that'll ever get old.
I know.
Honestly.
And then I'll like see it out in public.
And then you'll count them, and I'll be like, oh, I saw 10 today.
I know. I'll see one out in public too that's like an older one that I forgot about. And I'm like, oh my God, I love that color. I know.
I want to touch the new material. I keep seeing them teased.
Our French terry.
Yeah. I'm like, what is this?
We have more of that. We have lots more of that coming out too before the holidays. That has been great to have a different sort of fleece. Try to expand a little bit.
Yeah.
Speaking of entrepreneurial, I feel like that was crazy. You know, like we again just say ideas and think, oh, we shouldn't do that or we shouldn't, but to keep open to all the ideas.
Well, I mean, because we started as a fleece brand, we're like,
what else?
We wanted to become popular with fleece and then expand a little bit more.
Yeah.
So now we're kind of in that phase of bringing more fabrics to everybody. So.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Everyone check out Fine Day Fair. And if you're local to Chevy Chase or Westchester or Fairfield County, I highly recommend attending.
Yes.
And we are confirmed to be in your holiday boutique if it happens. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned.
Perfect.
And and we're so excited. It's been so much fun to have you.
me.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Sue-Jean.
Thanks, everyone.